Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of Terra Prime, watching the stars through the massive viewing window. The orbital station was huge, bigger than any city on Earth below. It was home to 20,000 people who worked day and night to keep Earth safe from alien threats. Jake had been running the Earth Defense Fleet for 8 years now, and he had never seen anything like what was happening today. "Admiral, we have a problem," said Lieutenant Lisa Parker. She was young, maybe 25, with short brown hair and sharp green eyes. She worked at the communication station and was very good at her job. "I'm getting reports from 3 different sectors. Something strange is going on." Jake walked over to her station. "What kind of strange?" Lisa pulled up the data on her screen. 3 alien fleets went missing in the last 6 hours. The Vorthan scout ships were first, 12 vessels, all heavy cruisers. They were heading straight for Earth's outer defense grid. Then they just vanished. Vanished? What do you mean vanished? I mean they disappeared completely. No explosion, no debris, no distress signals. One moment they were there on our sensors, the next moment they were gone. Jake felt a cold feeling in his stomach. "Show me." The main screen lit up with sensor data from the outer system. Jake could see the flight paths of the alien ships moving in perfect formation toward Earth. Then at exactly the same point in space, all 12 ships simply stopped appearing on the sensors. "What about the other 2 fleets you mentioned?" The Zalaki sent a battle group 2 hours after the Vorthons disappeared. Same thing happened to them. 24 ships gone without a trace. The Cretan tried an hour ago with their fastest attack ships. 8 vessels all disappeared at the exact same location. Jake rubbed his face with his hands. This made no sense at all. "Get me Captain Ben Torres. Tell him to take the Aurora and investigate those coordinates." "Yes, sir." While Lisa sent the message, Jake thought about what this could mean. The Vorthons, Zalaki, and Cretan were all hostile alien species. They had been trying to attack Earth for years, but Earth's defenses had always been strong enough to fight them off. Now they were disappearing before they could even reach Earth's defense ships. 20 minutes later, Captain Torres called from the Aurora. Ben was a good man, smart and brave. He had been exploring space for Earth for over 10 years. "Admiral, I'm at the coordinates where the alien ships vanished. I'm not seeing anything unusual out here." "No debris? No energy readings? Wait, let me check again." There was a pause. "Actually, I am picking up some strange energy signatures. Very faint, but they're here. I've never seen anything like this before. Can you identify what caused them?" "No, sir. These readings don't match anything in our database. It's like the space itself was twisted somehow. I'm sending the data back to Terra Prime now." Jake thanked Ben and told him to return to base. Then he called Dr. Amy Richardson, the best scientist on Terra Prime. Amy was in her 40s, with gray hair and thick glasses. She had studied alien technology for most of her life. "Amy, I need you to look at some sensor data. Something very strange is happening out there." Dr. Richardson came to the bridge 30 minutes later. She had already looked at the data Ben sent back. Her face was pale and she looked worried. "Admiral, this is impossible." "What's impossible?" "These energy readings. They suggest that the alien ships didn't explode or get destroyed. They suggest that the ships stopped existing." Jake stared at her. "What do you mean stopped existing?" "I mean they were removed from reality somehow. The energy patterns show a complete breakdown of matter at the quantum level. But this kind of technology shouldn't exist. No one in the galaxy has weapons that can do this. Could the aliens have done this to themselves somehow? No. The energy patterns are wrong for that. This came from outside their ships. But Admiral, there's something else that's strange." "What?" "I checked our records of alien activity near Earth. This is the first time hostile ships have disappeared like this, but peaceful alien traders pass through that same area of space all the time. Nothing happens to them." Jake felt his heart beating faster. "You're saying whatever is making the hostile ships disappear only affects ships that want to attack Earth?" "That's exactly what I'm saying. And I have no idea how that's possible." At that moment, Lisa called out from her station. "Admiral, I'm..." getting emergency communications from across the galaxy. The alien governments are demanding to know what happened to their fleets. Jake walked back to the communication station. What are they saying? The Hegemony Council is calling for an immediate explanation. They're saying Earth has developed some kind of superweapon. They want to know if we destroyed their ships. What did you tell them? Nothing yet. I wanted to check with you first. Jake thought for a moment. If the aliens believed Earth had a powerful new weapon, they might be too scared to attack. But if they found out Earth didn't know what was happening, they might send even bigger fleets. Tell them we're investigating the disappearances. Don't confirm or deny anything about weapons. Yes, sir. Dr. Richardson was still studying her data. Admiral, I need to run more tests, but I think we're dealing with something that goes beyond normal physics. This isn't technology as we understand it. What else could it be? I don't know. But whatever it is, it's protecting Earth from hostile aliens. The question is whether we can control it or if it's acting on its own. Jake looked out at the stars again. Somewhere out there, alien governments were probably planning their next move. They would want answers about their missing ships, and Earth didn't have any answers to give them. Keep studying the data, Amy. I want to know everything we can learn about this phenomenon. I will, Admiral. Jake knew that the disappearances were just the beginning. More aliens would come, and they would come with bigger ships and better weapons. Whatever was protecting Earth had worked so far, but would it keep working? He had a feeling they were about to find out. 2 weeks had passed since the first alien fleets vanished near Earth. Captain Nina Collins was on patrol duty aboard the Defender, a fast attack ship that watched the outer edges of Earth's space. Nina had been flying for the Earth Defense Fleet for 6 years. She was tough, smart, and never backed down from a fight. Captain, I'm picking up a massive fleet approaching from the Krillian sector, said her sensor operator, Lieutenant Danny Brooks. He was a quiet man who rarely spoke unless something was very wrong. This is big, Captain, really big. Nina moved to the sensor station and looked at the readings. Her heart started beating faster. How many ships? I count 52 vessels. All of them are Krillian battle cruisers. These aren't scout ships, Captain. This is a full invasion force. The Krillians were one of the most dangerous alien races in the galaxy. They had been at war with dozens of planets for over 100 years. Their ships were heavily armed and their soldiers were known for being cruel and violent. Get me Admiral Morrison right now, Nina said. A few seconds later, Admiral Morrison appeared on the communication screen. He looked tired. The stress of the past 2 weeks was showing on his face. What's the situation, Captain Collins? Admiral, we have a major Krillian battle fleet heading straight for Earth. 52 ships, all heavy cruisers. They'll reach the outer defense grid in about 3 hours. Admiral Morrison was quiet for a moment. Are they following the same path as the other alien fleets that disappeared? Yes, sir. They're heading right for the same coordinates where the Fourth Hounds and Zalaki vanished. Stay with them, Captain. I want to know exactly what happens when they reach that area. Nina watched as the Krillian fleet moved closer to Earth. The alien ships were huge, each one the size of a small city. They carried enough weapons to destroy entire planets. But they were heading straight for the spot where other alien fleets had simply vanished. Captain, they're entering the vanishing zone now, said Lieutenant Brooks. Nina held her breath. On her screen, she could see all 52 Krillian ships moving in perfect formation. They were so close she could see the details of their hulls and weapons. Then it happened. The space around the Krillian fleet began to ripple like water when a stone is thrown into it. The ripples grew bigger and bigger until they covered all the alien ships. For a moment, Nina could see the ships starting to fade, becoming see-through like ghosts. Then they were gone. All 52 ships had disappeared completely. There was no explosion, no flash of light, no debris floating in space. They had simply stopped existing. Did you record that? Nina asked Danny. Yes, Captain. I got everything on sensors, but I don't understand what I just saw. Nina called Admiral Morrison. Immediately. Admiral, the entire Krillian fleet just vanished. All 52 ships, I watched it happen. The same way as the others? No, sir. This time was different. I saw the space around them change. It looked like ripples in water. Then the ships faded, away and disappeared. Return to base immediately, Captain. I need to see that sensor data. When Nina arrived back at Terra Prime, she found the station buzzing with activity. Scientists and military officers were running around everywhere. She went straight to the command center where Admiral Morrison was meeting with several important people. Captain Collins, good work out there, said Colonel Ryan Murphy. He was the head of military intelligence for Earth. Your sensor recordings are the best data we've gotten so far. Dr. Kevin Blake was also in the meeting. He was a young scientist who studied alien technology. Captain, what you saw matches our theory about what's happening to these ships. What theory? Nina asked. We think the disappearances are connected to some kind of space distortion around Earth. Something is changing the fabric of space-time itself. Admiral Morrison looked worried. The problem is we still don't know what's causing it or how to control it. At that moment, Lisa Parker rushed into the room. Admiral, I have President Carter on the secure line. She wants to speak with you immediately. The main screen activated and President Helen Carter appeared. She was a strong woman, in her 50s, who had led Earth through many difficult times. Behind her, Nina could see other important government officials. Admiral Morrison, I need a full briefing on the alien fleet disappearances. The situation is getting serious. Yes, Madam President. In the past 2 weeks, we've had 4 separate alien fleets vanish near Earth. The total number of missing ships is now over 90. Do we know what's causing this? No, ma'am. Our scientists are studying the phenomenon, but we don't have any solid answers yet. President Carter turned to someone off-screen. General Hayes, what's your assessment? General Paul Hayes stepped into view. He was an older man with gray hair and a serious face. Madam President, I think we should take credit for these disappearances. If the aliens think we have a super weapon, they might stop attacking us. That's a dangerous game, General, said Dr. Sarah Mitchell, the President's science advisor. She was a smart woman who always thought carefully before speaking. If we claim to have a weapon we don't understand, we might make promises we can't keep. President Carter thought for a moment. Admiral Morrison, what do you recommend? I think we need more time to study this phenomenon. Whatever is happening, it's protecting Earth from hostile aliens, but we need to understand it before we make any public statements. How much time do you need? I don't know, ma'am. This is unlike anything we've ever seen before. President Carter looked worried. Admiral, I'm getting calls from alien governments across the galaxy. They're demanding answers about their missing fleets. Some of them are threatening to send even bigger forces to Earth. What do you want me to tell them? For now, tell them we're investigating. Don't admit to having any new weapons, but don't deny it either. After the call ended, Nina found herself thinking about what she had seen. The way the Krillian ships had faded away was unlike anything in her experience. It was almost like they had been erased from reality itself. Dr. Blake approached her. Captain, I've been studying your sensor data. The space-time distortions you recorded are incredible. It's like something is actively protecting Earth. Protecting Earth from what? From hostile aliens. That's the strange part. Peaceful alien traders pass through that same area every day without any problems. Only the aggressive ones disappear. Nina felt a chill run down her spine. You're saying whatever is out there can tell the difference between friendly and hostile ships? That's exactly what I'm saying, and that's what makes this so frightening. We're dealing with something that can read intentions. Dr. Nathan Pierce sat in his lab deep inside Terra Prime, staring at numbers and graphs that made no sense. He was a quantum physicist, one of the smartest people on the station. For the past month, he had been trying to understand why alien fleets kept disappearing near Earth. Every time he thought he was close to an answer, the data showed him something new and impossible. Nathan, you need to see this, said Dr. Rachel Green, walking into his lab with a tablet in her hands. Rachel was his research partner and one of the few people who could understand his complex theories. I've been studying gravitational readings from around Earth going back 50 years. What did you find? Rachel showed him the data on her tablet. Look at these patterns. The gravitational distortions around Earth aren't new. They've been there for decades, maybe longer. We just never noticed them because they were so small. Nathan looked at the readings. These anomalies are in the exact same locations where the alien ships are disappearing. That's right. And Nathan, there's something else. The distortions get stronger every time humans are in danger. It's like space itself is reacting to threats against Earth. Nathan felt his heart racing. This was the breakthrough he had been looking for. Rachel, I think I know what's happening. Earth isn't just a normal planet. We're sitting at the intersection of multiple dimensional layers. What do you mean? Think of space like a piece of paper. Most planets sit flat on the paper. But Earth is at a point where several pieces of paper come together. The gravitational effects we're seeing are the result of these dimensions overlapping. Rachel sat down in a chair. That's impossible. Is it? Look at the evidence. Hostile alien ships disappear, but peaceful ones don't. The phenomenon only affects beings that want to harm Earth or humans. It's like the universe itself is protecting us. Before Rachel could respond, an alarm started ringing throughout the station. Admiral Morrison's voice came over the communication system. All senior staff report to the command center immediately. We have a situation. Nathan and Rachel rushed to the command center, where they found chaos. Officers were running between stations, and the main screen showed a massive alien fleet approaching Earth. What's happening? Nathan asked Lisa Parker. The Hegemony Council has sent their most advanced fleet to test Earth's defenses. War Commander Thektar is leading them personally. Nathan had heard of Thektar. He was one of the most dangerous military leaders in the galaxy. His ships had destroyed entire star systems. Commander Alex Turner stood near the main screen, studying the approaching fleet. Alex was the captain of the Phantom, Earth's most advanced stealth ship. He was known for taking dangerous missions that no one else would accept. How many ships? Alex asked. 237 vessels, replied Lieutenant Danny Brooks. But these aren't normal ships. Intelligence reports say they have reality-bending weapons and dimensional shields. Admiral Morrison walked over to Nathan. Doctor, I need to know if your theories can explain what's about to happen. These aliens have technology that should protect them from whatever made the other fleets disappear. Admiral, I don't think their technology will matter. If I'm right about the dimensional nature of the phenomenon, their shields won't help them. Why? Because the protection around Earth operates on a level deeper than normal physics. It's connected to the fundamental structure of reality itself. On the screen, they could see Thektar's fleet getting closer to the vanishing zone. The alien ships were enormous, each one bristling with weapons that could crack planets in half. Their shields glowed with strange energy that hurt to look at directly. Admiral, Commander Turner here, Alex said. Request permission to take the Phantom closer to observe. Denied. It's too dangerous. Sir, we need data on how their advanced technology interacts with the phenomenon. The Phantom stealth systems should keep us safe. Admiral Morrison thought for a moment. Take volunteers only. If anything goes wrong, retreat immediately. Alex nodded and left the command center. Within 30 minutes, the Phantom was moving toward the approaching alien fleet. Alex's crew included pilot Jenny Hayes, a fearless woman who could fly through asteroid fields blindfolded, and engineer Tom Wilson, who could fix anything that broke. We're approaching the fleet now, Alex reported over the radio. Their ships are incredible. I've never seen technology like this. What are your readings showing? Nathan asked. The dimensional shields are creating ripples in space-time around each ship. It's like they're trying to exist in multiple realities at once. On the main screen, everyone watched as Thektar's fleet reached the edge of the vanishing zone. The space around them began to change, just like it had with the previous fleets, but this time was different. The reality-bending weapons fired, sending waves of destructive energy into the dimensional distortions. For a moment, it looked like the alien technology might actually work. Some of the ships seemed to stabilize in the changing space. Then the phenomenon adapted. The space around the alien fleet twisted in ways that hurt to watch. The dimensional shields that were supposed to protect the ships began to work against them. Instead of keeping the ships in normal reality, the shields trapped them between dimensions. One by one, the alien vessels started to fade, but instead of disappearing cleanly like the previous fleets, these ships were being pulled apart slowly. The crews inside were probably experiencing time differently, stretched across multiple realities. "This is horrible," whispered Rachel. Nathan couldn't look away. The phenomenon is learning. It's adapting to new types of technology. War Commander Thektar's flagship was the last to disappear. Even with all his advanced weapons and shields, he couldn't fight something that existed outside normal space and time. When it was over, the space where 237 alien ships had been was completely empty. "Phantom to Terra Prime," Alex's voice came over the radio. "We recorded everything. The readings are unlike anything we've seen before." "Return to base immediately," Admiral Morrison ordered. When Alex and his crew returned, they brought data that changed everything. The readings showed that the phenomenon wasn't just protecting Earth randomly. It was responding to human consciousness itself. "The effect gets stronger when humans feel threatened," Tom Wilson explained. "It's like our minds are connected to the dimensional distortions around Earth." Jenny Hayes nodded. "During the battle, I could feel something changing in the space around us. It was responding to our emotions." Nathan looked at all the data they had collected. "I think humanity has been unconsciously shaping reality around Earth for generations. Every time we've been threatened, the phenomenon has grown stronger." "But why?" Admiral Morrison asked. "Because we're not just living on Earth. We're part of it in ways we never understood. Our consciousness is connected to the dimensional structure of space itself." Rachel stared at the readings. "If this is true, then humans aren't just another species. We're something completely different." The implications were staggering. If human consciousness could affect reality itself, what did that mean for humanity's future? And what would happen when the rest of the galaxy learned the truth? Dr. Nathan Pierce had not slept for 3 days. His lab was covered with papers, charts, and computer screens showing impossible data. After studying the readings from Thektar's destroyed fleet, he finally understood what was happening around Earth. The truth was bigger and stranger than anyone had imagined. "Rachel, come here quickly," he called to Dr. Green, who was working at another computer. "I figured it out." Rachel walked over to Nathan's desk. Her eyes were red from lack of sleep, too. "What did you find?" Nathan pointed to a complex diagram on his screen. For thousands of years, human consciousness has been changing the space around Earth. Every time our ancestors faced danger, their minds reached out and altered reality to protect them. We've been doing it unconsciously, generation after generation. That's impossible, is it? Think about human history. How many times should our species have gone extinct? Asteroid impacts, ice ages, plagues, wars. We've survived things that killed most other life forms on Earth. What if our minds have been protecting us all along? Rachel studied the data. "You're saying that when humans feel threatened, we unconsciously change the laws of physics around our planet?" "Exactly. And now that we're threatened by alien invasion, the effect has become strong enough to make entire fleets disappear." At that moment, Captain Ben Torres walked into the lab. He looked excited but also nervous. "Dr. Pierce, Admiral Morrison wants to see you immediately. We're going to test your theory." Nathan and Rachel followed Ben to the command center, where Admiral Morrison was waiting with several other officers. Commander Alex Turner was there too, along with his crew from the Phantom. "Doctor, I need you to explain your theory to everyone," Admiral Morrison said. Nathan took a deep breath. "I believe that human consciousness is connected to the dimensional structure around Earth. When we feel threatened, our minds unconsciously alter reality to protect us. The alien fleets aren't being destroyed by a weapon. They're being removed from existence by the collective human subconscious." "That sounds crazy," said Jenny Hayes. "Maybe, but I can prove it," Nathan replied. "Captain Torres, I want you to fly an alien ship toward Earth while thinking hostile thoughts." Ben stared at him. "You want me to do what?" "We captured a small Salaki scout ship last year. It's been sitting in our storage bay. If my theory is correct, the phenomenon will react to your intentions, not to what species built the ship." Admiral Morrison looked uncomfortable. "This is very dangerous, Captain. If something goes wrong, we might lose you." "I volunteer to do it," Ben said. "If Dr. Pierce is right, this could change everything." 2 hours later, Ben was sitting in the cockpit of the alien scout ship. The vessel was small but fast, designed for reconnaissance missions. Earth's engineers had studied it carefully and knew how to operate its basic systems. "Ben, can you hear me?" Nathan asked over the radio. "Yes, I hear you clearly." "Good. I want you to fly toward the coordinates where the other ships disappeared. But here's the important part. While you're flying, I want you to think about attacking Earth. Imagine that you're an enemy trying to harm humans. This feels very strange," Ben said as he started the alien engines. Nathan watched the sensors as Ben's ship moved toward the vanishing zone. "Remember, think hostile thoughts. Imagine you want to destroy cities and hurt people." As Ben's ship got closer to the danger area, something began to happen. The space around the vessel started to shimmer, just like it had with the alien fleets. "Nathan, I can see strange lights outside my ship," Ben reported. "The space looks different." "Keep thinking hostile thoughts," Nathan said. "This is working." The shimmering got stronger. Ben's ship began to fade on the sensors, becoming harder and harder to detect. "Ben, now I want you to do something different," Nathan said quickly. "Stop thinking about attacking Earth. Instead, think about protecting humans. Think about peace and friendship." The change was immediate. The shimmering around Ben's ship stopped. The fading effect reversed and the vessel became solid and real again. "It worked," Rachel whispered. "It actually worked." Ben flew the alien ship back to Terra Prime and everyone gathered to hear what he had experienced. "When I was thinking hostile thoughts, I felt like I was being pulled away from reality," Ben explained. "It was terrifying. But when I changed my thoughts to peaceful ones, everything went back to normal." Nathan felt a mixture of excitement and fear. His theory was correct, but the implications were enormous. "This means humans have been unconsciously protecting Earth for thousands of years," he said. "But now that we know about it, we might be able to control it." Admiral Morrison looked worried. "Dr. Pierce, what happens if too many people know about this? Could we lose the protection by thinking about it too much?" "I don't know. The human subconscious is very complex. We need to be careful about how we use this knowledge." Commander Ellen Davis, Earth's head of diplomatic affairs, had been listening quietly. She was a smart woman who understood politics and alien relations better than anyone. "We have a bigger problem," Ellen said. "Several peaceful alien species have contacted us. They want protection from aggressive neighbors. Word is spreading across the galaxy that Earth has some kind of ultimate defense." "What kind of protection do they want?" Admiral Morrison asked. "The Delaney Federation wants to establish colonies near Earth. The Mireki Republic is asking if they can move their homeworld closer to our solar system. Even some individual aliens are requesting asylum here." Nathan thought about this carefully. If too many alien minds are present near Earth, it might dilute the effect. Human consciousness might not be strong enough to protect everyone. Or it might make the protection stronger, Rachel suggested. "If peaceful alien minds joined with human consciousness, we might be able to extend the effect to a much larger area." Admiral Morrison made a decision. "We need to test this carefully. Ellen, select one small group of peaceful aliens to come near Earth. We'll see what happens to the protective phenomenon." A week later, a small ship carrying 5 Delaney diplomats approached Earth. The Delaney were a peaceful species that looked somewhat like large, intelligent dolphins. They had never fought a war in their entire history. As their ship passed through the area where hostile fleets had vanished, nothing happened. The Delaney arrived safely at Terra Prime and were welcomed by Ellen Davis. But something interesting occurred during their visit. Nathan's instruments detected that the protective phenomenon had actually grown slightly stronger. The presence of peaceful alien minds seemed to enhance rather than weaken the effect. "This is incredible," Nathan told Rachel. "Peaceful consciousness, whether human or alien, strengthens the protection around Earth, but hostile consciousness triggers the defensive response. What does this mean for the future?" Nathan looked out at the stars through the lab window. "It means Earth could become a sanctuary for any species that chooses peace over violence. But it also means we're going to face a lot of difficult decisions about who we allow near our planet. The implications were staggering. Humanity had discovered that consciousness itself could alter reality. Earth wasn't just a planet anymore. It was becoming something entirely new. A place where the power of peaceful thought could protect all life from those who would destroy it. But with this knowledge came responsibility. How would humanity use this incredible power? And what would happen when the warlike species of the galaxy realized that their greatest weakness was their own aggressive nature? President Helen Carter stood at the podium in the Global Assembly Hall, looking out at representatives from every nation on Earth. Behind her, a massive screen showed images of space around Earth, where alien ships had been vanishing for months. Today, she would tell the world the truth about what had been happening. Citizens of Earth and beings across the galaxy who are listening to this broadcast, she began. Today I will explain why alien fleets have been disappearing near our planet. The hall was completely silent. Everyone knew this announcement would change everything. For the past 4 months, hostile alien fleets have vanished when they approached Earth with violent intentions. We have discovered that this is not caused by any weapon or technology. It is caused by human consciousness itself. A wave of shocked whispers went through the crowd. Our scientists have proven that humanity's collective mind has been unconsciously protecting Earth for thousands of years. When we feel threatened, our consciousness alters the fabric of space around our planet. This protection eliminates any being that approaches with the intent to harm us. President Carter paused to let this information sink in. But here is the most important part. This protection does not harm peaceful beings. Any species that approaches Earth with friendship and good intentions will be completely safe. In fact, peaceful minds make the protection stronger. Admiral Morrison watched the broadcast from Terra Prime. Beside him, Dr. Nathan Pierce was monitoring sensors that showed the reaction across the galaxy. Alien governments were responding to the announcement with confusion, fear, and in some cases, hope. Nathan, are you seeing any changes in the protective field? Admiral Morrison asked. Actually, yes. As more humans learn about the phenomenon and accept it, the field is becoming more stable. It's like our conscious awareness is helping to focus the effect. On Earth, President Carter continued her speech. Today, I am making an offer to every peaceful species in the galaxy. Earth will become a sanctuary for any beings who choose peace over violence. We will share our protection with those who share our values of cooperation and respect for life. The response was immediate. Within hours of the broadcast, dozens of peaceful alien species contacted Earth requesting alliance and protection. The Delaney Federation was the first to formally accept, followed by the gentle Vaktari and the wise Kepler Collective. But not everyone was happy with Earth's announcement. War Commander Thektar found himself in a very strange place. When his fleet had been caught by Earth's phenomenon, he had not died. Instead, he had been transported to what could only be described as a peaceful dimension. In this place, violence was impossible. Weapons would not fire, and aggressive thoughts caused physical pain. At first, Thektar had fought against this reality. He had tried to break free, to return to his universe of conquest and war. But slowly, over weeks and months, something began to change in his mind. In the peaceful dimension, he met other beings who had been transported there. Former warriors from dozens of species, all learning to live without violence. They formed a community unlike anything Thektar had ever experienced. "You were a great warrior," said Veltar, a former Krillian general who had been in the peaceful dimension for over a year. "But war brought you nothing but emptiness. Here you can find something better." Thektar struggled with these ideas. His entire life had been built around conquest and domination. What is the point of existence without battle? The point is growth, understanding, creation. Look around you. In this place, we build instead of destroy. We learn instead of conquer. Back. In normal space, Earth was rapidly becoming the center of a new kind of galactic community. Commander Ellen Davis had been promoted to ambassador and was working with peaceful alien species to establish what they called the Cosmic Peace Alliance. Captain Nina Collins, now Admiral Collins, commanded the first mixed human-alien fleet. Her ships patrolled the solar system alongside vessels from a dozen different species, all working together to protect the growing sanctuary around Earth. "Admiral, we have 3 more refugee ships requesting permission to enter Earth space," reported her communications officer. "What species?" "Tavani survivors from the Outer Rim. Their homeworld was destroyed by the Hegemony Council. They're asking for asylum." Nina smiled. "Grant them safe passage. Guide them to Station Haven." Station Haven was a new orbital facility built specifically for peaceful aliens who wanted to live near Earth. It housed over 50,000 beings from 30 different species, all living together in harmony. Dr. Nathan Pierce had established the Terra Institute for Dimensional Studies on the station. He worked with alien scientists to understand the consciousness phenomenon better. His most important discovery was that other species could learn to create similar protective effects around their own worlds. "The key is collective peaceful intention," he explained to a gathering of alien researchers. "When enough beings on a planet truly desire peace and protection for all life, they can alter reality itself." Dr. Rachel Green nodded. "We've already seen success with the Delaney homeworld. After they learned our techniques, hostile fleets started avoiding their system completely. The galactic balance of power was shifting. Species that had ruled through fear and violence found themselves powerless against enemies they could not fight. Meanwhile, peaceful civilizations that had been victims for centuries were suddenly protected by forces beyond physical technology. The Hegemony Council, the galaxy's most powerful military alliance, called an emergency meeting. Their representatives were angry and frightened. "Earth has made war itself obsolete," declared Supreme Commander Kektar. "If other species learn their techniques, military power will become meaningless." "Perhaps that is not a bad thing," suggested Counselor Merdan, one of the few voices of reason in the group. "How many billions have died in our wars? How many worlds have we destroyed? Maybe it is time to try a different path." But Kektar and others like him could not accept a galaxy without conquest. They began planning desperate attacks on Earth, not understanding that their own violent intentions made success impossible. Meanwhile, in the peaceful dimension, Kektar was experiencing something he had never felt before. He was teaching young beings from different species how to build things instead of destroying them. For the first time in his life, he felt truly useful. "I understand now," he told Veltar one day as they watched a sunset that never ended in their strange reality. "Power over others is nothing compared to the power to help others grow." "You are learning wisdom," Veltar replied. "Perhaps someday, you will be ready to return to the normal universe and teach others what you have learned here." Back on Earth, President Carter received daily reports about the success of the Peace Alliance. Planets that had joined the alliance were experiencing unprecedented prosperity. Without the need to spend resources on military forces, they could focus on science, art, and exploration. Admiral Morrison stood on the bridge of Terra Prime, watching as ships from dozens of species moved peacefully through Earth's space. "Nathan, do you think this will last?" Dr. Pierce looked up from his instruments. "The phenomenon is stronger than ever. As more beings choose peace, the protection grows. But Admiral, I think we're seeing something even more important than protection." "What's that?" "We're seeing the evolution of consciousness itself. Beings across the galaxy are learning that cooperation is more powerful than conquest. This isn't just about protecting Earth anymore. It's about transforming the entire galaxy." In the months that followed, the transformation continued. The galaxy began to divide into 2 groups, those who chose peace and cooperation, and those who clung to violence and domination. The peaceful group grew stronger every day, while the violent group found themselves increasingly isolated and powerless. Earth had not conquered the galaxy through superior weapons or technology. Instead, humanity had shown the universe that consciousness itself could be the ultimate force for peace. And in doing so, they had given every species in the galaxy the chance to choose a better path. The age of endless war was ending. The age of universal peace was just beginning.